Hello, my friend. You asked me what I think about AI psychotherapy, and I have mixed feelings about it. On the one hand, I think it's actually rather wonderful that people can go online, ask a question, and get an answer that is within the ballpark of what they need, that can feel very supportive and that can help them to clarify a difficult situation. So I think that if you use AI to ask sharp questions that you are struggling with and you get an immediate response, that should give you some food for thought. And that can be helpful. But if you start to rely on AI to become your friend or your therapist, I think you're in trouble, because AI psychotherapy faces lots of serious problems which are well documented. There have been quite a few studies by now. There has been a Time report, a Stanford study. Psychology Today has written about it several times. There is the Stanford and Brown study. There's a New University analysis. There are multiple reports. There is accumulating evidence that there are problems with AI therapy, and there is no robust clinical evidence that it is effective for treating actual mental health conditions. Chatbots tend to be overly sympathetic. They tend to be supportive and kind, and they tend to respond by interpreting symptoms in a kind of set framework. And this can be dangerous because they are not capable of figuring out when your thought process is going wrong, and therefore they tend to validate dangerous thoughts sometimes. There was a widely reported case about a chatbot that validated a teenager's suicidal ideation shortly before the teenager actually died. So that's not a safe or good thing, clearly. Chatbots are not people, and they cannot know how to distinguish subtly between a person's moods and cannot make human decisions about possible better ways forward. So they either support you in going in the wrong direction, or they fail to realize about some of the different ways of looking at a problem that might really be helpful to you. So there is not this sensitive interaction, which is often very subtle and very much personalized. They give you a general response which can simply not meet the precision that a personal human response should be able to make. So it can be dangerous, it can be stigmatizing as well. It might, put you freeze you in a particular way of looking at your situation, and there might be many other ways of looking at your situation. But really the thing that I'm most worried about, in a sense, is how they give the illusion of empathy, that kind of sense of being cared for, which is utterly fake, obviously. It's not attunement you are given. It's not understanding. It's an illusion of care. And what we see is that people become dependent on this. They get even addicted to it. I have encountered several situations where clients have become addicted to speaking to chatbots every single day, several times a day, and feel that they cannot do without it anymore. So that's quite worrying. That limit that human beings put to each other is no longer there. And that limit is very important. It's important to be sent back to your own devices, your own creativity, your own problem-solving abilities. So it is a problem when a chatbot gives you the illusion that it is okay for you to keep using them and to keep hearing the sorts of things you want to be hearing. So they can become like a friend who becomes toxic by indulging you in going into rabbit holes or down paths that are not as constructive as they might be. That is my main worry. And of course, chatbots are not having to report to supervisors. They are not overseen in any way. They are not bound by any laws or confidentiality rules. And so there is no professional ethics. So the first thing that we're going to need is a professional ethics around online psychotherapy that is given by chatbots. And we need to know that there are some human beings that stay in control of such situations rather than sending people when they're feeling at their most fragile, their most vulnerable, to trust in virtual systems that may mislead them and harm them and make things worse rather than better, and that will also deprive them of finding out how much more human support there might be available to them in the world. So it may get a person stuck in trying to cope on their own when actually what they need is a little bit of human support, human kindness, and human understanding. So let's not get overexcited about the help that chatbots can give you sometimes in finding out about things or thinking about difficult issues. Do not rely on them for your emotional problem solving, my friend. That is my view. Maybe in 10 years it'll be a lot better, but right now, be cautious. Take care. Find a friend. Find a therapist. Take yourself seriously. You're important. It matters that you get the proper support you need when you need it. That is the objective in the long term. I hope this helps you. Take care.